I want to give a huge shout out and a thank you to my sponsor, P2 Collectibles, located at 204 East McGallard Road in Muncie and on eBay as well. So next time you're here in Muncie, let us know. Come give us a visit. Hey, what is up, y'all? This is Austin Plus for TCG, and I'm coming at y'all with a discussion today. It's a big one. It's about Spyrals, clearly. But what can we really do about this issue that we are having with Spyrals? As everyone knows, or if you don't know, if you don't pay attention to meta, which is fine, if you do not pay attention to meta and you don't know the results of YCS Dallas, Spyrals not only won YCS Dallas, but they took up 29 of the top 32 decks of the top 32 of YCS Dallas. So what that means is that I think it was 91% of the top 32 was playing Spyrals, and that is some tier 0 broken shiznit right there. I wouldn't say quite tier 0 yet because we've only had one experience with them, but if it's looking like it's going to be what the OCG has, and Spyral has completely dominated over there as it is right now. The only thing is, we don't have it at potentially full power, I guess, as far as the extra deck is concerned, because we still don't have the Link Karibo, and we don't have Trigate Magician or Trigate Wizard, I think it is. Those cards really set the deck off, especially with Link Karibo confirmed now. Because Quick Fix is a level 1, and all Link Karibo it requires is a level 1 monster to be able to link summon this. So all you have to do is just use the Quick Fix and go off. So what can we do to solve this issue? Here are a few of the cards that I think would really be worthwhile to mention as far as like oppressive power. Now the first one, Spyral Double Helix. Obviously we can't really do anything with this card, especially with it just being released. If you don't know what Spyral Double Helix does, it is, it's the name of Super Agent. So its name acts like Super Agent, so it can do the Super Agent stuff. And it can be summoned from the grave as Super Agent and added back to your hand through various other effects. And that is while it's on the field or in the graveyard. You can declare a card type, monster, spell, or trap. Reveal the top card of your opponent's deck, and if you do, its type matches the declared type. Take one Spyral monster from your deck or graveyard and either add it to your hand or special summon it to your zone this card points to, and you can only use this effect of Spyral Double Helix once per turn. Now, that is quite the oppressive effect, considering all you have to do is summon a drone and get this card out somehow, which is fairly easy. Drone stacks the top card of your opponent's deck, thus making this effect very powerful. And that's what really gave Spyrals its gusto, its oomph, to be able to be in the 29 spots of the top 32 at YCS Dallas. It is what gave Spyrals the needed boost. Even though it really didn't need much of a boost, it was already a very strong deck in the first place. Not obviously top tier shit, but this is the card that made them top tier shit, and that is one of the reasons it is so good, but it is also the reason why it can't be touched. It is very new, and it's kind of its boss monster, if you will. But another problem is Quick Fix. Now, Quick Fix is quite insane. If you don't know what Spyral Quick Fix does, if this card is normal or special summon, you can add one Spyral Gear card from your deck to your hand. If this card is in your graveyard and you control Spyral Super Agent, you can discard one card, special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. Now the reason that's so insane is obviously because nowhere in there does it say once per turn. There's no hard once per turn. Nothing. This card can just recur itself as long as you have a Spyral Super Agent on the field, and that's why I reiterated so much that that Spyral Double Helix card is so insane, because it is a Spyral Super Agent on the field. So as long as that remains on the field, or any other Super Agent remains on the field, you can just Spyral Quick Fix and just keep going and going and going and going. It's nuts. This card is very, very oppressive because of the amount of searching that it does for the deck and the fact that it can be recurred so many times. However, this is the card that probably, arguably, needs to get hit. This could potentially go to 1, because then you can't recur it. 2, I still say it's kind of iffy there, because this card is like I said, very, very oppressive in the fact that you can just essentially recur for nothing because you get to pitch the card in your hand that you potentially can use in the grave. So it's not necessarily like netting you any disadvantage. And this card is very strong and arguably needs to be hit either to 1, probably not none, because then the deck is almost unplayable. This card also nets a lot of advantage, not so much for you, but it allows you to see what is coming for your opponent. If you don't know what this card does, if it's normal with special summon, you can look at the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck, and if you do, place them on top of their deck in any order, which is pretty nuts considering Spyral Double Helix's effect. And then during either player's turn, you contribute this card, then target one Spyral monster you control. It gains 500 attack for each card your opponent controls. And its third effect, you can banish this card and one Spyral card from your graveyard and target one Spyral super agent in your graveyard and add it to your hand. So 3 effects. Very, very good card. Considering the first effect is really the only effect that matters. The other effects are just icing on the cake because this is the card that you're trying to summon and stack your opponent's deck with. Could this card merit a hit though? If we ban this outright, Spirals completely die because they no longer can look at cards on the top of the deck. That, at least, not that I can think of anyway. The Spyral archetype really relies around Spyral Gear Drone, considering that it is easily searchable. But does it merit a hit? Should we hit it to 2? Should we hit it to 1? Banning it outright kills the deck. But this card does net you a lot of advantage considering you can stack your opponent's deck in a way that is very, very bad for them. But the question still remains, is it worthy of a hit? Can we hit it to 2? I don't know if that necessarily does anything. Do we hit it to 1? It still does the stuff. It still gets the opponent's card stacked so that you can call it, and Double Helix's effect is live. But Spyral Master Plan is the main card you are trying to summon off of Spyral Double Helix. Ideally, you aren't having to summon a quick fix, but in times that you don't open Machine Dupe and you need to get as many quick fixes in the grave, quick fix is the other one that you would summon off of Double Helix. However, Master Plan is the main one. This card does a lot. And it's like this card was made for link summoning because once per turn, not even a hard once per turn, you can add one Spyral mission card from your deck to your hand. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add one Spyral Resort and one Spyral monster from your deck to your hand except Spyral Master Plan. That one you can only use hard once per turn because that would be stupid. This would be the best card in the deck. And it arguably is the best card in the deck because this is the main one you're going for with the Double Helix. It's why Double Helix is so insane. Yes, you can special summon any Spyral in the deck, but this is the one you want, considering that when you summon it, you add a Spyral mission, which, as we all know, we add the Trap, because the Trap, when it's in grave, it allows you to special summon one Spyral monster from your graveyard, therefore netting you a lot of advantage, and then when it leaves the field, being able to add any Spyral monster, usually Sleeper, and well, that one is just, in and of itself is also insane. It could warrant a hit as well. However, that is more of a defensive card. I digress. This card, however, is the one that nets you a lot of advantage as well, considerably like Quick Fix, but not as good. It can't recur itself as easily. But this card, when it leaves the field, being able to add a Spyral Resort, which adds you a Spyral card, and Spyral cards cannot be targeted, and you get to add a Spyral monster. It's just a card that if we banned outright, a lot of the advantage could go down for Spirals, which is what makes the deck so I don't want to say fun. It is fun to play because of the oppressive style that it has, and it can make very big unbreakable boards, which is arguably why a lot of us play Yu-Gi-Oh! But this card just allows for so much advantage that it could arguably be banned, because one obviously isn't doing it because you only play one. So banning it is probably the thing that needs to be done if we're going to hit something that doesn't kill the deck. Hitting this to 0 doesn't kill the deck, but it does prevent the double helix from having so much utility. This, however, could arguably be hit to 1 or none, because seeing this and quick fix is the combo. When you see this and this allows you to gain a lot of advantage, because you add everything that you need from your deck, because the first one will gain you, I don't know, usually it'll gain you the drone if you don't have it. Then machine dupe into the other two quick fixes. Then you can just add the big red and the last resort, and that's kind of all you need, because then you have your win more card, you have your card that stacks your opponent's deck in any way you want, top 3 at least, and you have the card that recurs any of your spirals from grave. It's insane with this, how much advantage this one card gives you. So this could arguably be banned or hit to 1, because this to 1 makes the ratios a lot worse, a lot less chance of you opening it. However, if you still open it, you still win. So if you want to prevent any type of super win situation, banning this really helps other decks in contention, so we don't have just a one deck format, which I guess I don't necessarily mind, because in one deck formats arguably the best player will win, but in this kind of format where it really is going to rely on hand traps, the best player I guess won't always win, considering it is just luck of the draw there, unless you're searching the DD Crow, if you're playing that. But those are the 5 cards that you could consider hitting. I guess double helix isn't really a consideration. It's more of just like, this is what put this deck over the top. I guess an honorable mention would be Spyral Sleeper, because that card does allow you to pop 2 cards on your opponent's field, which is very insane. But hitting that doesn't necessarily kill the consistency for the deck. It just makes the defensive play a little less defensive. But yeah, tell me what y'all think. Tell me if you think I was wrong about any of these. I don't want to say predictions, but what I think would potentially help the meta be a little more diverse. We either ban this, you really can't hit this. I guess you could hit it to 1 so you don't open it. Hitting this to 1 and banning this. So these are the 2 cards that potentially deserve to be banned because of how much advantage they gain you. And these are the cards I guess you could potentially hit to 1. Considering that this is the one, if you open it, this, and this is like a pretty much guaranteed game if they have no answer. This is pretty much a guaranteed game if they have no hand trap answer. But this is just icing on the cake, because you don't have to search out this, or you don't have to search out drone with quick fix. Sorry if this was a little ranty, but this is now becoming a problem. As much as I like the deck, it is very oppressive, and it kind of forces your opponent to either have expensive cards like Droll and Lockbird, Ghost Ash, or Ash Blossom, still calling it Ghost Ash. Either having Ash Blossom, Droll, Maxi. They have to have the hand trap, otherwise this deck just goes off and it's really hard to break their board. And considering that everyone is going to probably be playing this for a while, we should probably figure out, either as a community or just have Konami fix this, because this is too much. But yeah, like I said before, let me know what you think about my list, if you will, in the comment section below. And this is Alex from +3 TCG signing out.